Hello and welcome back. This is Kiran Shinde. Welcome you to the video lecture on cloud computing. In this video lecture, we are going to discuss about the concept of virtualization. Virtualization is a very essential concept to understand the implementation strategies of cloud computing. So let's begin with the presentation. First of all, let us have a look at the contents of the video lectures. Like henceforth, I'm going to conduct 2 more video lectures in line with the same topic. So first of all, let us have a content. Virtualization basics, objectives, benefits of virtualization, understanding hypervisors, virtual machine types, and VMware. So today in this particular video lecture, we are going to discuss about the basics of virtualization with the types of virtualization. First of all, let us try to understand the definition of this particular technology. Virtualization is the ability to run multiple operating systems on a single physical system and share the underlying hardware resources. So basically, this particular technique is to make the utilization of the bare metal or the physical hardware in an efficient manner. It is the process by which one computer hosts the appearance of many computers. Virtualization is used to improve IT throughput, costs by using physical resources as a pool from which virtual resources can be allocated. It means even though we have some number of physical resources with us, out of those physical resources, we can actually create multiple virtual resources by making use of this technique, that is virtualization. Let us have a look at the virtualization architecture. A virtualization architecture is having a very important entity, that is VM, that is virtual machine, which is an isolated runtime environment, which is having guest operating system and applications. Multiple virtual systems or multiple virtual machines can run on a single physical system. So you can see from this particular image, this physical box is nothing but the actual hardware, the physical hardware, on the top of which you can see a virtualization platform. There are some examples written over here, Zen, KVM, VMware, and on the top of this virtualization platform, you can see many virtual machines are created. Each and every virtual machine is having a guest operating system and some applications installed over it. There are various types of virtualization, such as desktop virtualization, server virtualization, network virtualization, storage, and application virtualization. The various vendors who provide virtualization solution are VMware, Microsoft, and Citrix. Of course, there are many more, but these are the mega players in the market. Let us have a look at what are the benefits of virtualization. First, we can share the resources and which results in cost reduction. Isolation, virtual machines are isolated from each other as if they are physically separated. So every virtual machine can be actually used as an independent physical machine. Encapsulation, virtual machines encapsulate a complete computing environment. A computing environment which you get with the help of a physical machine, a similar kind of environment you can get along with the virtual machines. Hardware independence, virtual machines run independently of underlying hardware. Portability, VMs can be migrated from one host to another. So these are some benefits. Now let us have a look at the types of virtualization. First of all, we are going to talk about the first category of virtualization, that is hardware virtualization. Hardware resource allotment is done by a special tool or by a special program which is called as hypervisor. The advantages of these particular tool include increased processing power as a result of maximized hardware utilization and application uptime. Now, there are some types under this particular category. We have to understand the types first, and then maybe in my next video lectures, we are going to talk in detail about hypervisor and its function. The subtypes under hardware virtualization are full virtualization and para-virtualization. What do you mean by full virtualization? Full virtualization is a type in which Guest software or guest operating system does not require any modifications since the underlying hardware is fully simulated. We will understand this concept with the help of one diagram. Paravirtualization, the hardware is not simulated and the guest software run their own isolated domains. So the basic distinction between full virtualization and paravirtualization is in full virtualization, the virtualization software or the virtualization operating system is directly installed on the bare metal hardware or on the original physical hardware. But in case of paravirtualization, there is the host operating system installed on the physical hardware, and on the top of the host operating system, the virtualization layer comes into picture. Now let us try to understand this concept with some images. Let's have a look at this image. This is actually explaining about the full virtualization layers. If you see at the bottom side, there is the actual physical hardware, the processor, the memory, the network cards, the hard disks. And on top of this actual hardware, you can see the virtualization layer, VMware virtualization layer. And then on top of this layer, there are different virtual machines which are installed with their operating system and the desired applications. So this is full virtualization. Let's have a look at para-virtualization. In this particular image, if you see at the bottom side, there is the actual hardware with CPU, memory, network card and disks. On top of the bare metal or the actual hardware, you can see a host operating system is installed. And on top of host operating system, then here comes the virtualization layer, on the top of which we can create the virtual machines. Okay. So as I said, like we are going to talk about this in detail in my next video lectures. Today, I'm just making you aware about the basic types of virtualization. Continuing further, the next type of virtualization is network virtualization. It refers to the management and monitoring of a computer network as a single managerial entity from a single software-based administrator's console. Now, network virtualization can be understood by taking an example of a subnet. For example, what do you mean by a subnet concept? Subnet is nothing but dividing a single network into smaller number of networks or subnetworks, right? Though the physical network is only one as far as the existence is concerned, but the same physical network can be subdivided into logical units. And this example can be categorized under network virtualization. So network virtualization can be actually divided into two types or two categories, internal and external. Internal network virtualization provides network-like functionality to a single system, whereas external network virtualization combines many networks or parts of networks into a single virtual unit. Continuing further, storage virtualization is a type of virtualization where multiple network storage resources are present as a single storage device for easy and more efficient management of these resources. Now, the advantages will be improved storage management in, of course, in a heterogeneous IT environment, easy updates, better availability, reduced downtime, better storage utilization. These are some benefits out of storage virtualization. Now, what are the types? Operating system storage virtualization, application virtualization, server virtualization. These are certain types related to storage virtualization. So as I mentioned, as we are going to progress further in my next video lectures, we are going to talk about every type in detail. Hope you understood the basics of virtualization today. Thank you. Thank you for watching and please stay tuned.